channel Teaching and Learning. In this channel, we especially talk about IELTS practice, English language, and business communication. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the non-verbal communication. Do you know what non-verbal communication is? Have you heard this term before? So a communication mainly is two types: verbal and non-verbal. Verbal means we communicate by using words and sentences. We communicate through talking. We communicate by using the sentences. But non-verbal communication means we communicate, but we don't use words and sentences. So you might have one question inside. So how can we communicate without using sentences and words? This is a big question. Yes, obviously. And how? Okay, let me ask you a question. How do we communicate, or how can we communicate without using words and sentences? Do you think that way? Or is it important for our daily life, daily business and professional or personal life? What do you think? These things are very important. We need to understand. Yes, obviously, we can also communicate without using words and sentences. And most of the time, these two types of communication go together: verbal communication and non-verbal communication. We use words and we also use some of the non-verbal communication. So what non-verbal communication actually is? Non-verbal communication refers to the body language, facial expression, eye contact, and so many other things that we communicate without using words and sentences. Let me give you one example, okay? So, making eye contact is one of the important non-verbal communication whenever we communicate. Or sometimes we are not communicating, but we are making eye contact. It means we are sharing something, some information, opinions or feelings, whatever, through eye contact. But it may differ from culture to culture. It may differ from country to country. It may differ from the geographical location of the people. Let me give you one example. Regarding eye contact, it is one of the important non-verbal communication. Making eye contact in the Western world is the requirement. Let me tell you, in America, in Australia, in European countries, people are required to make eye contact whenever they are communicating. But if you go to Asian countries like Japan, China, India, and many more countries, there making eye contact with their seniors, teachers, and someone they are not that much familiar is not accepted. It is not practiced. So these things plays very vital role, making eye contact. So if you make eye contact with your seniors like teachers or your parents, grandparents, the relatives, which you really have to respect, and someone you do not know that much, so that is not desired over there. That is not expected in Japan. So the meaning of making eye contact with the seniors in Japan is not good, because it is taken as the disrespect. The person who is junior in the age, junior in the experience or position, whatever, in relation also, if he or she makes eye contact, then it signals or it symbols a kind of the disrespect to the person. So this plays very vital role. In our communications. Let me give you one example regarding how nonverbal communication is important. How symbolic language is more important. Rather than telling somebody your beloved, I love you. Rather than telling somebody I love you, if you kiss him or her, it may play really a vital role, and it can have the bigger impact in their life. Or giving a flower might have more value than saying just the 3 words of this sentence. So this is very important. And from another perspectives, non-verbal communication is very important, because in non-verbal communication, what happens? What we do is, in verbal communication, we can hide the reality and truth. But in non-verbal communication, it is said that it is very difficult to hide the reality and truth. Whatever people are communicating with us at that time, what we say to them is, make eye contact with me and say, what are you saying? Can you say this? So people are saying that making eye contact really reveals the reality and truth whenever the person is speaking. In the similar way, I will give you one example. Okay, if I am hungry now, and I go to somebody's house and they offer me some breakfast, and I do not want to eat over there because of the some reasons, and if somebody asks me, do you want to eat with us? Let's have some breakfast. And I say, oh no, I have just taken my breakfast at home. Thank you very much. Please have you. So at that time, even though I say I have just eaten the breakfast, but my facial expression does not reflect it because I am hungry from my side. Another scenario, now I am talking to you and I am very much excited about the subject matter. I am very much happy. So even though I said this sentence is, what is going on inside me and how I am reflecting my feelings and emotions, you people can easily read it. So whenever we communicate, at that time, non-verbal communication, body language, facial expression, eye contact, the way we speak, the way we wear, the way we make the space in between whenever we are communicating plays very vital role. If you want to be a good communicator, good speaker, if you really want to bring the action of what you say, try to coordinate verbal with non-verbal communication. So one situation, rather than saying just I love you to your beloved, why don't you give a flower or offer a kiss for her? So combination of verbal and non-verbal always has bigger impact, and you can fulfill your communicative purpose, because we are not speaking to the sky or we are not speaking for ourselves. Speaking obviously has some sort of purpose. So if we coordinate and maintain verbal communication with non-verbal, at that time it is almost easier to bear the objectives and purpose of communication. So always maintain, handle and control both type of communication, verbal and non-verbal. Thank you very much. I have tried to say something new regarding your how you can make your communication perfect by knowing non-verbal communication, by knowing its value, and we also discussed some of the examples over here. I really want to request all of you to practice your verbal communication, your verbal English with non-verbal your non-verbal communication. It brings the naturalness in your use of language. So whenever you say I'm happy, at that time I'm happy, rather than that, why don't you say I'm happy? Thank you very much. So body language, facial expression, eye contact should go together with the sentences that we use in our communication. Thank you very much. Practice those two things together whenever you speak English, so that you can make your English speaking natural, more practical. That will help you a lot. Thank you very much. Thank you.